This week's episode is brought to you in part by Adobe Systems, the people who bring you Photoshop, Illustrator, and an entire line of software for web design and video. CDW, for hardware, software, gadgets, and more, CDW has the right technology right now. DLO, makers of the Home Dock Deluxe. Watch your favorite podcast on your TV with the Home Dock Deluxe from DLO. Azo, makers of high-end monitors for creative and moving image professionals. And iStock Photo, the world's preeminent collection of member-generated royalty-free images and digital art.
Well, hi everybody, we are the Photoshop guys and welcome to our transitional episode brought to you by the National Association of Photoshop Professionals, NAP, the fine people who bring you Photoshop User Magazine.
Yes, indeed, and also the same people behind this lovely magazine, Layers Magazine. Check it out.
Say something, Matt. Okay, well, welcome everybody. My name is Scott Kelby, and joining me on my right, the silent Matt Kloskowski.
Silent Bob.
And
hi everybody.
As always, Mr. Dave Cross.
Hey everyone, good to see you.
Well, as you could probably tell, Matt has a horrible cold, has lost his voice. No, as you could probably tell, something's up. If you look at the set here, you can see this is our transitional episode. In fact, we're going to be transitioning for a few more episodes. We are in the middle of a brand new set redesign, so we're working on a brand new set. We're working on a whole new rebranding program for the show. So a lot of exciting things coming up here in the next few weeks. So in the meantime, you're going to have to struggle, as we are, through the transitional set that we are on. But we kind of like it, don't we, Dave?
We do, because it gives us a chance to just try all kinds of interesting
stuff.
things.
Yes, there we go. It's nice.
Pile
it's
things
good.
up.
It's all good and nice.
It's easier to set up too.
Yeah. Hey, I haven't been on the show in like, I don't know, 6 episodes. So
yeah.
it is great to be back. I've been traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
I've been around. In fact, while you're watching this, if you're watching this on Monday, I am in Boston with my Lightroom tour, and I've done the Lightroom tour, and I've done the Los Angeles, and I'm going to Atlanta next on June 1st. So I won't be here for the June 1st show either.
Traveling man.
Traveling man.
Yep.
Anyway, but that will not stop us from delivering another
mediocre
transitional episode. So with us today, who is now speaking, has somehow found his voice, we have a tutorial from the wonderful Matt Kloskowski.
We do have a tutorial. In fact, I call this a tutorial.
Wow.
What a great name.
I know. When I do speak, I make sure those words count. All right, so one of the things that will happen if, it happens a lot on vacation photos. You go out, you take that shot, and it's the skyline, and you think it looks great. And then you get back home and you look at it, and all these buildings that you thought were straight are not quite so straight. And the perspective has gotten a little bit distorted. So we'll start off with this one. Here's a shot of Houston. And the way you can fix this is go under the filter menu down to distort. And you can go over to lens correction. And if you see when the dialog opens here, you've got this really obnoxious grid over the image, but it actually helps demonstrate here. If you look at the side of this building, you can see how it's not really quite as straight as it should be. So what you can do, it's actually a very easy fix. Take your vertical perspective setting here and just start dragging it over toward the left-hand side. And you'll see that you can use that grid to actually match up the side of the building here. And it will eventually make it vertical. Now, one of the cool things about this filter is that instead of, because you notice in the background here how we have some of these transparent edges. Well, you'd normally have to crop that out, but inside of the filter dialog, you can just increase the scale setting. And depending on your photo, depending on how bad the distortion is, you can get away with anywhere from 7 to 10% there and not really degrade your image. So click OK, and now you have fixed the perspective distortion. However, sometimes it gets worse. And if you look at this photo over here, you've got this building on the right-hand side, which is pretty much straight. But if you look over on the left side, this one kind of gets pretty crooked here. Well, this time I'm going to duplicate the layer. So just press Command-J on the Mac or Control-J on the PC. And we'll go back up into the filter menu to distort and over to lens correction. And what we're going to do is do the same thing, the same move here, fix that vertical perspective, and we're going to have to get pretty exaggerated with this one. It's okay because we duplicated the layer. I'm going to show you how we can get the best of both worlds, because you see what we did, we kind of shoved this building way up toward the top here, and we really kind of killed the image on the bottom here. But I'm going to click OK, and now we've got it on its own layer, so grab your Move tool, and you can move this around, and what I do is just move it to the point, and you can nudge it with your arrow keys. I'm especially going to look at the top of this building here, because that's going to be the main part where these two photos are not going to match up. So I'm going to look at the top of that building and try to get it to match as good as I can. And then I'll just grab my eraser tool and just grab a soft edge brush here. I'm just going to start to erase to the point where I bring back that building that was on the layer below.
Hey, sweet.
And there you have it. So now you get the best of both worlds, because here was the original photo, and you can see the left side's all messed up, right side looks good, and there's the new one. Now the right side looks good too.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Like
See, personally, I just would have taken my laptop and gone like this and tilted it, or have the person just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, tilt your head when you look
That'll
at
be
this.
next week's tutorial.
Well, very nice, Mr. Kloskowski.
Thank you.
For a man of little words, that was
Make them count.
was
There were some
touching.
good words.
It was touching. Hey, I didn't mention this earlier, but we have a special guest on today's show. A little bit later, we're going to be introducing you to somebody new, somebody you may have not seen before, somebody odd and freakish. No, somebody very cool we're going to introduce you to a little bit later after the commercial.
Is he a foreign man?
From a foreign land? No, he's just a regular guy. But he's coming up here a little bit later. So we do have a special guest, someone new to introduce you to.
Marcy. And also, later on, we'll be doing a live draw for our fabulous Cruise to Alaska contest that we are going to announce the winner for that fabulous contest later on.
Will his name be Mark Kloskowski?
Yes.
Guy?
Yes, Mark Kloskowski is going to
How'd you know?
Alaska.
I thought it was secret.
All right, so hey, I got a tutorial this week. I'm going to have to move this out of the way, and I'm also going to have to, that's right, do an Eddie Tap, take off my glasses.
Hey, Eddie Tapp has patented that move.
Hey, Eddie Tap, now this it sounds like we're making fun of Eddie, but we love
No.
Eddie. He's our best buddy in the world. But if you ever watch Eddie, he's the best public speaker because he starts with his glasses on, and then he says, and you know, and he takes them off, and the whole room leans forward. And he says, and then he puts them back on, and then they're off again.
He's the only one that can pull it off.
He is the only one, but he's the man.
It looks seamless.
I love Eddie. Okay, so I have to take mine off
Hi,
because I have these
Eddie
new
watches the show.
I have these new transitional ones, but you know they make me old. So I'm going to just take these off, and every time I do that in my seminars, there's always an optometrist in the crowd, or they always come up and go, "You're supposed to be using transitional." I know. You look good on you. Yeah. All right, so here we go. I've got a CS3 camera raw trick, and this is kind of cool, and it's based on how to fix a problem that you may not be aware you can fix in the new Camera Raw 4.0 in Photoshop CS3. All right, so we're going to start with the images here. I'm going to open up just 3, and of course you can open up as many as you want for this tutorial, but just so we're not here all day, I'm going to open up 3 here in the Camera Raw of CS3. So we're going to look at the problem here. The problem is when I took the shot, there was dust on my sensor or on my lens. And by the way, there's always dust on my camera or my lens. If we zoom in here, you can see it, okay? Now,
I don't see it.
well, it's that spot right there.
Got your glasses on.
Oh yeah, we'll take my glasses off. That will certainly help. Okay, so and if I were to select all the photos and zoom in, you can see if you have if you have a speck of dust or on your sensor or on your lens, it's not going to be on just one photo. It's going to be on every photo because that's just the nature of it. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm going to show you, because it would be on every photo, how to remove it from one photo, and then with one click, have it fix every other photo that has sensor dust on it. So if you took 230 shots on a morning shoot, you'll have this spot on 230 photos, and this is going to be how to remove them. So step number 1 is to go over here and look at the first image. And there actually is a little tool for getting rid of this in CS3. It's kind of the get rid of dust and spots tool. I think that's not the technical name for it, but that's what it really does.
You could call it that.
Yeah, you could call it that. And when you click on the tool, you can see it has different kinds of repairing, either a cloning or a healing. I leave it on the default of healing most of the time. The only time I'll actually use cloning is when I get near the edge of the image. If something's near an edge of the image or an edge in the like a transitional area between one edge and another, then I'll switch to clone. But most of the time I'll leave it on heal. And basically what you're going to do is you're just going to get rid of this little spot. Just draw a little circle and boom, it heals it, okay? So you did that and it's healed it. So now here's what you do. Now you're going to go and choose select all. And that's, by the way, all you have to do is just draw the circle around it. It picks a little spot nearby. Boom, it heals it. That was easy enough. Now you're going to hit select all. So you select all the photos. Again, I only have 3 here, but I could have 250, you know, from whatever your morning shoot was. Then you go to synchronize. When you go to synchronize, of course, the default setting is it wants to synchronize all of your settings. You want to go right down here to spot removal. Oh. And then what it's going to do is it's going to go to every other photo and just apply the spot removal to all of your other photos. So when you click OK, it goes through and boom, boom. If you look in here and in here, that spot is gone from the other images as well.
Sweet.
So
Very
pretty
nice.
cool little trick. Now I'm going to hit cancel in this case. But if I really wanted to get rid of those, I would hit either done and it would be all done for all the photos, or open image would actually open those images in Photoshop. So we're going to cancel all the changes, including non-selected images? Yes. That's my
Wowee.
trick.
Hey, can I add to that?
Please do.
Well, so you showed how to do it with spot removal, but I think you'll agree whenever you're out on the road and you're teaching, everybody comes up to you and they'll ask you, like, how do I synchronize, you know, my exposure changes or my shadows or my highlight changes inside of Camera Raw? And it's the same thing. It's not just spot removal.
Oh, I know. You know, the reason why I showed that was because
yeah.
I think most people, well, that have used Camera Raw for a while, that's what you think. Oh, I'm gonna send my white balance over to 50 images or something. But the spot one's kind of new.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Very cool.
Works for all.
Nice.
All right. Well, we are going to take a short break. We've got a little short 30-second commercial. We'll take a look at that real quick. Buy their products like you can't believe. And then come right back, because we'll be joining us when we come back is our very special guest, a foreign man from a foreign land. Stick around. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Yeah, Bob. We're gonna need some stuff. Lots of stuff, actually. I'm gonna need 6 notebooks, 3 printers, an office phone system, a wireless network. We need blade servers, data storage. Oh, good idea. Excellent. I like where your head's at. And we're gonna need security, of course, and then all the stuff that goes with the stuff.
With a complete range of technology products that meet all of your IT needs, we're there. CDW.
Now we're in business.
Well, we are back, and we have somebody very special to introduce you to. At NAP's headquarters, of course, you know, myself and Dave and Matt and Corey, and we all kind of, you know, produce content for the members and, you know, for our website and, well, for here on Photoshop TV. Well, we've added a new person to our core, a new Photoshop expert who is, well, he's a country boy. He's kind of a good old boy. We brought him out. Think you'll like him. Let's bring down RC. RC, yay! Here he comes now. Hey, RC.
Hey, everybody.
What's up? Hey, what do you got there?
Found some pizza outside.
All right, perfect. That's where we like to get our pizza from. Let's take a look, Dave.
It's on the other. This is the official.
Oh, there's the pizza.
It's good.
Yeah, I had pizza once back last October. Okay, well, hey, we are back and welcome aboard.
Yeah.
Well,
Good
this
to
is
be here,
RC.
good to be here.
Let me tell you how we met RC, because there is a little story. Because, you know, well, there is a story.
Yeah.
So we actually met him down in Miami, right, at
Yep.
Photoshop World.
Yeah.
And Matt and Dave and I taught a class based on the television show So You Think You Can Dance. It was called So You Think You Can Teach Photoshop. And so we had all these teachers come to the class, and it was all people that taught Photoshop either for a living or, you know, at community colleges or whatever. So basically we spent the whole day long watching. Well, we did a little presentation on, you know, our criteria for teaching. And then we had each student get up, do a 10-minute segment, and then we would critique each student. And whoever the best student of the day was would get to do a floor session on the Photoshop World Expo.
Right.
Well, hands down, the absolute winner of that day was RC. Now, we weren't going to hire him then. We just thought, hey, good for you, buddy. But anyway, so RC went and did his half-hour session, and the moderator from his half-hour session said, you got to see this guy. He's incredible. So he created quite a fuss down there in Miami. Well, when we were interviewing different people and stuff, well, RC came to mind, and we've met with him a couple of times now, and we finally brought him on board. So we're very excited to have him.
It's going to be great.
He knows Photoshop real good. And on next week's show, we're actually going to have him to come in and actually do a tutorial. But for this week's show, we just have him bring pizza.
For the most part.
All right. Now, you're from, give us a little background on you.
I'm actually from Long Island, New York. So very, very not country, but
Yeah, but you know, usually when you say that, and there's an audience, everybody from New York always like, woo!
yeah.
So go ahead and say that again. We'll get some camera guys.
I'm actually from Long Island, New York. So moving down here is going to be a bit of an adjustment. I'm happy, excited to be here. I think it's going to be great. See if we can bring something a little different. So.
All right, so we just wanted to kind of bring out RC and introduce you to him because now he's working with us in the office every day, and we go in his office. A lot of times he's in tears. Sometimes he's in the fetal position on the floor and stuff, but that kind of stuff. We want to introduce you to him, and next week, of course, we're going to have him come in and do a little tutorial for you.
Right. And NAP members will get to see him very soon because he'll be doing movies and things for the NAP site as well.
Yes, and writing tutorials. Oh, so he's taking over a column in Photoshop User Magazine too. So we're going to put him to good use. You'll see him out there in the back 40 plowing and doing all kinds of that stuff. He normally does up there in Long Island, New York. All right, guys, well, we're going to jump over to the latest in Photoshop news, and then we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. We still have Dave Cross coming up a little bit later. Dave Cross has got a tutorial for you, and we're going to find out who the winner is of Dave's Alaskan Cruise.
Fabulous cruise contest. Yes,
Fabulous cruise. Stick around. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Photoshop Storm Team Action News with news anchor Stephanie Cross.
Hey guys, it's Stephanie again with the news for you today. I have 3 important news stories from Adobe. First off, Adobe has announced the web beta site of Adobe Exchange. This is where you can download actions, brushes, tutorials, and much more. And next, Adobe has released more trial versions of CS3 software. You can download a free trial of Illustrator, Dreamweaver, Flash, Fireworks, and much more. You can also order a DVD for $9.99 with a trial version of Creative Suite 3 Design Premium. Check it out. This website right here. And finally, Adobe has announced a new print driver software that will allow Vista users to take advantage of Postscript printers. The driver is expected to be available in July 2007. I'm Stephanie Cross, and I'll see you back next week.
All right, everybody. Ben Wilmore will be taking his Photoshop Photographers Tour to Columbus, Ohio on Friday, May 25th, and then he'll be in Milwaukee on Wednesday, May 30th with his Photoshop for Photographers. Don't miss that. I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, teaching Lightroom at my Lightroom Live Tour on June 1st. So check that out, and if you can't make Atlanta, join me in New York City at the Jacob Javits Convention Center for my Lightroom Tour on Thursday, June 7th. And our buddies Matt and Dave both have some workshops coming out. These are digital workflow workshops where you're shooting alongside Matt and Dave, and then you're learning the Photoshop stuff. So it's a great weekend. The next one coming up is June 13th through 17th. Matt will be in Banff, and there's just a few spots left in that workshop. There's only, I think, 2 left. So if you want to go with him, it's June 13th to 17th. And he'll be in Banff, incredible place to shoot. Then Matt will also be in October. So, and believe it or not, these are already filling up now. So if you want to go, I would sign up quickly for his Slot Canyons deal, which is an incredible, unbelievable place to shoot. That's coming up in October 10th through 14th. And then right after that, Dave is going to be in Acadia National Park up in Maine. Beautiful, beautiful place. One of my favorite places to have shot with Dave Cross on October 17th through October 21st. So don't forget to check those out at gapweb.com, I believe is their website. And that's it for this week's Photoshop on the Road. Alrighty, we are back, and well, we have some big news for NAT members, don't we?
Hey, very big news. So, what is out now? NAT members are going to get this with their next issue of Photoshop User magazine, the bonus issue of Photoshop User. This is actually probably one of the things I think we're always proud of because we work with Adobe before CS3 ever comes out, and we create a special issue dedicated to the new version of Photoshop. So NAT members get it for free. It's an extra special.
Should be on the way as we speak.
But here's the thing, too. If you're not a NAT member and you join now, as a bonus, they will send it to you. Wow. That's right. So you would get, not only you'd get the current issue of Photoshop User magazine, but you would also get this as well. So
sweet.
Go check it out, photoshopuser.com.
Excellent.
We'd love to have you on board with us.
We would.
We would,
It
really.
would make us happy.
It would make us happy. Happy, happy, joy. Okay, so that's the cool news. And of course, we have lots of CS3 stuff that we're working on. And hey, look, it's Dave Cross. Dave, don't you have a tutorial for us?
Certainly.
You know, I got to say something here before you do your tutorial.
Say.
You know, people say stuff like, you know, you guys are kind of goofy on the show and stuff and all this. This is exactly the way we really are in the office. It's not like at the office we'll walk around all serious. How are you, Matt? How are you, Dave? It's even stupider than this in real life. We actually tone it down for this show. We don't say, hey, you say this funny thing or you say this funny thing on the show. Basically, it's just like what we are in the office.
Yeah,
and RC, hey, good job, by the way, RC.
Thank you.
But it's pretty much, and RC would tell you, it's sadly pretty much.
There's no script in front of us that says, Scott, make joke here.
Yeah, it's just.
There's no script in front of us.
I think they kind of guessed that part already.
Yeah, we're this corny in real life as well, so it's not an act. We're stupid.
Yes.
Okay, Dave, tutorialize us.
I would be happy to do so.
Golly, Dave, this sounds swell.
I think it will be cool. I was looking around saw people asking me about things like neon effect, and I saw several tutorials that did this, but my worry with them, I worry about these things,
he does,
was that it was done in such a way where you could not have it as editable text. In other words, you had to take your text and turn it into an object, rasterize, and then go from there. So I thought, surely there's a way to do this. And you're all saying, I'm sure there is, but don't call me Shirley. Okay, so here's what my document looks like. All I've got is a black background with some white text, and you can see it is a type layer. I'm going to lower the fill opacity right here to 0%, which of course makes it temporarily go away. And I will now add a stroke. And of course it defaults to red because why wouldn't it? It just always does. So we're going to pick some other color, and I'm going to make the size just a little bigger and change the position to center. And for now, I'm just going to stop right there with the effects. But in order to be able to do some interesting things to this, one of the ways we're going to accomplish this is take this type layer and convert it into a smart object. And there's a couple of reasons why, but you'll see one reason right here. So now I've got this as a smart object, but one of the things I want to do is make this look more neon-like, because in true neon, of course, the letters don't go all the way around. There's little gaps for the neon. So I'm going to add a layer mask and take my brush tool, just a little small brush, and just basically paint the little gaps you would see in neon. And as you'll see when I get to the end of this, the whole idea of this is doing it in a way where it's very easy to change my mind. Now, one of the reasons that I thought this was kind of an interesting idea, because as a smart object, I've already applied a stroke, you'll remember, but because it's a smart object, I can now apply a second stroke, because I'm applying a stroke to the smart object. So now I can go in and make another stroke, which is slightly smaller, so I get kind of the, see the little tube effect we're getting there. And we could also do things, of course, like an outer glow, probably in the same kind of colorish range. Maybe just knock this back a little bit, something like that. So now we've got a pretty cool looking neon effect, but because it's a smart object, now it's very easy for me to say, you know what, I'm not sure I like that typeface, so I just have to simply double click. It opens a separate document. I can now go back in here and choose some other font, like, what did I find? One that was kind of cool. This was kind of cool. Make it a hair smaller so it fits. Finalize it, save it, and look, it updates on the other one. And if this one happened to work out, but if it needed to, I just have to update the mask a little bit to make my gaps look a little better. And there you've got a neon effect that's a live effect that you can apply to type just like that.
Very nice,
easy.
Mr. Cross.
Thank you.
You know, Dave, that's the kind of tutorial that makes me want to find out who the winner of your Alaskan cruise is.
I know, it's just amazing how that works, isn't it? Well, we had a contest. Well, we sort of did. We told you about this contest on cruisingthroughlife.com, which is the cruise we'll be taking to Alaska in August. The website is cruisingthroughlife.com, and the contest is now officially over, and we're going to now announce the winner. Ta-da! And the winner is Terry Rollins from, how do you pronounce this? Medina, Ohio. Medina. So congratulations to Terry. Now, a couple of other notes to make. Right now, up until now, the cruise has been myself, Moose Peterson and Vincent Versace. They've also added Lori Excel to the group, so she'll be on there teaching as well. There's still some spots available. Now, one of the things they do is they have excursions that for photographers, but There's only 10 spots left, so if you're a photographer and thinking of bringing your spouse, you don't want to leave them on the ship by themselves, they can come along for that excursion just to be there and see the sights and so on. So please go. Oh, and by the way, this will be an annual event. These cruises will happen every year, and every year we're going to have a contest for a free cruise. So check it out if you haven't done so already, cruisingthroughlife.com, and congratulations to Terry for winning.
Now, what Terry doesn't realize is you have to stay in Dave's cabin, which those cabins are pretty small on those cruise ships. And
you'll get to know my family quite well along the way. So
sure you will. Okay. All right, now we've got some things to do between this week's show and next week's transitional.
Even before that, we have things to do.
Son of a gun! I don't know what they are.
Because that was our cruise contest, but we still have our regular contest.
Oh.
And this time, for this time only, we're doing a special bonus contesty thing since we're in contesty moods.
This is a bonus show.
It is just
crazy.
Like crazy the amount of stuff you could get.
You take it, Dave.
Here's the deal. We have this thing called Layers Magazine, right?
Yeah, we have a copy of it here.
Somewhere
it's on the floor.
It's on the floor.
Perfect place
right down
for us.
there.
Well, that's
really
where we throw things.
So here's the deal. For the first 10 emails we get when you go to our website and enter the contest, this is separate from our regular contest. Just send us an email that says, sign me up for Layers, and the first 10 people will get a subscription to Layers Magazine. Huh.
And by the way, if you don't know what Layers Magazine is, it is the magazine for everything Adobe. So it covers all the Adobe products like Photoshop and Illustrator and Flash and Dreamweaver and Acrobat and Premiere Pro.
All things Adobe.
All things Adobe.
Lightroom, too.
Lightroom and everything. So check it out. It's
so go do that right now before someone else does.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Quick like a bunny.
Okay, but we still have a regular contest too. See what I mean about contests? It's just a contest.
God, how much can
palooza.
Dave give away?
So last week we had a contest and we asked you a question. Someone answered that question correctly, and the answer was the histogram panel. So this lucky person right here won that fabulous collection of prizes. Look who it is. And this time around we have some other prizes, and it's literally a prize package. It's a lovely iStock bag, and that iStock bag has things in it, which Matt will tell you about one, and Scott will tell you about the other, since we
First, we
pretty
have
much
the
told you.
Lightroom book for digital photographers by none other than Mr. Scott Kelby. It is
Hold on. Go ahead.
Mr. Glasses Scott Kelby. Great book, by the way.
Thank you, by the way. Okay, you also get a subscription to Layers Magazine, so even if you don't win and you win this, you still get the subscription.
And a bag.
And
in
a bag.
which to hold them all.
And
So,
you know what, son of a gun, let's throw one more thing in, Dave.
Okay.
Can we? Let's throw in a one-year membership to the National Association.
Don't do it!
Yes, of Photoshop Professionals, NAP, N-A-P-P.
Okay.
And Dave Cross.
Okay. All right, so in order to win this cavalcade of prizes, here's what you got to do. Look at this thing right here. We're going to show you and tell us where on earth do you find that thing that we're showing you right now that you're looking at.
That's it.
Where
Where's
is
that?
And go to our website, as you always do, and click the contest enter thing and enter once, and I hope you win all this stuff because you deserve it.
All right. Hey, by the way, good job, RC. Thank you. Okay, anyway. Okay. Dave, now is the time for the three things? Okay. So, you know, we like to give you three things to do between this week's show and next week's show. And by next week, of course, all set will be completely built. No, because nothing ever runs on time here. It will look probably similar to this, but maybe worse. So anyway, but between now and next week's fabulous cavalcade of fun, there are three things. Matt, what's your thing?
My thing is to back up your photos because it's very important. But seriously, back up your photos, get them backed up. This is a drive that I've recently got. It's from OWC, Otherworld Computing, and it's a 1 terabyte. It's called the Mercury Elite Pro, and it's actually got a RAID drive in it. So it's a 1 terabyte drive that it's constantly being backed up on itself. So if one drive fails, the other one's good.
It's 1,000 gigs in this little box.
1,000 gigabytes.
Wow.
Very, very cool drive. The thing I like about it the most is it's really, really fast, but it just looks cool.
It does look cool. You know what, too? What's weird about this thing is it weighs 1,600 pounds. There's no way to knock it over. You can hit it with a car and it won't move. It's like those concrete barriers on the
highway. Comes with an
highway.
army of people to put it on your desk.
It's a sweet drive, so you can check it out. It's at maxsales.com. This one, the 1 terabyte model I have here, retails for $419. So go check it out. Very cool stuff.
All right, my thing is I'm going to turn you on to a DVD that I've been watching on my treadmill. So, Because that's what I do on
You
the
love this
treadmill.
DVD too,
I do.
don't you?
I love this DVD.
He's been talking about it all
Because it's
week.
like it's 4 hours long. You know, you watch it for like 6 weeks. Because I only walk 3 minutes a day. So anyway. That's why it's taking me so long to lose this weight. It's 3 minutes. I'm thinking of going to 4 next month. Anyway, the DVD is called The Digital Wake-Up Call from David Zeiser. Now, you may remember seeing David Zeiser here on the show. He is a brilliant wedding and portrait photographer, but it's kind of based on his tour. And it is incredible. I mean, I keep telling these guys things I saw on the night before. If you've gone to my blog, you've seen it there. But anyway, go to digitalwakeupcall.com, and he's got a pretty good deal on it for a 4-hour video. I think it's $69, which is cheap. So go check it out. If you're a wedding photographer, the way I described it to my friends was, it's like David comes by and shoves money in your pocket. So go check it out, digitalwakeupcall.com.
Excellent. Well, I have a suggestion. A lot of people are asking the question. I'm not quite sure about the whole Photoshop versus Photoshop Extended thing, so I'm going to point you to a portion of Adobe's website that basically addresses the question of who is the extended version for and what are some of the features. So I'm not going to attempt to tell you the link because it's adobe.com/blah, blah, 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 blah. As you can see right here, I'm sure we'll add that for you to make it easier for you. But it's a really great place to find out some of the new features of CS3 Extended and who they're intended for. So go take a look.
Zowie. All right, well, we're going to wrap things up with one for the road. Since I've been here for a while, I thought I would take the
You're elected.
one for the road honors. Okay, so here's the deal. This is a little quick trick to send you off. This is a trick on CS3 Camera Raw, kind of following up on my earlier gig. Okay, so you may or may not know that in Photoshop CS3, you can edit your JPEG and your TIFF images using Camera Raw, which is great because Camera Raw is easier than basically any other way to process your photos. But the question I get again and again is, I've heard that it happens, how does it work? Just go under Photoshop's File menu and choose Open. You click on the JPEG or TIFF image you want to open, but here's the trick. There's a little Format menu at the bottom of your Open dialog. Of course, when you click on a JPEG, it will say, you know, JPEG. You want to change that to Camera Raw. And when you click Open, it will open in Camera Raw. Ta-da!
Wow. Very
That's
cool.
it. That's the trick to open up JPEG and TIFF images.
Nice.
Good stuff.
Well, my friends, that's it for this transitional episode, this high-quality production, this tightly scripted, professional thing that we do.
A show, kind of.
And on behalf of myself, Scott Kelby, and a foreign man from a foreign land, Mr. Dave Krause.
See ya.
And Matt Kloskowski.
The mute.
And RC.
Hey, RC.
We'll see you guys next week right here with the Photoshop guys right here. We'll see you then. I got a little tippy. I got a little tippy.
Blammo.